Wow, guys, in today's episode, the gloves are coming off. Guys, today we have to talk about two patterns, and one of them you have not seen talked about. I guarantee that. That's very exciting. We have so much to talk about in regards to that. We have to really get down and dirty, guys. We're going to be pretty honest with this analysis, and there's a lot we have to get into in regards to this. Very excited to share some things here. As well, we do have to incorporate some past things like this, cup and handle formation. What is going on with this pattern? You know, is this still in the middle of forming? We have this key area on Bitcoin's chart that is finding so much trouble getting, breaking down. We see wick after wick coming much below it, but it is just not wanting to stay below that level. Will we get Bitcoin pushing below that level? And some of these bullish patterns that needs to play out actually require that it does. So we have to talk about that in this video. And guys, bounce after bounce. Nobody else is seeing this because of this chart, but this is actually pretty huge. And we have to take a look at this today. It just happened today. Okay, it has to do with this wick in this candle. So guys, Bitcoin, what is in store? This market, this is in the middle of a firestorm, okay? So many things could be going on. So many things could be happening on these charts, and we want to give you our perspective. We want to give you the juice to make you loose. All right, now gather around, my little pilgrims. It is time to chow down. Wow, what's going on, my little munchers? Welcome back to another exciting episode. We have a lot to cover in this video, and we really don't want to waste too much time getting into it, guys, because there's so many exciting things we really want to cover. And keep in mind, this is the last week we're doing these giveaways for these ledgers. All you have to do is leave a comment below, and guys, if you're new, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, ding that bell, and we can jump right into the content. Guys, if you don't already follow me on Twitter, here it is. Guys, make sure to head over there. I do have a lot to cover in regards to my TA in this, but I do actually want to take a look at Big Tony's chart that he posted, and I retweeted last night. Okay, he was just talking about this trend line that he has going all the way back to 2018, this upward sloping trend line, and it has some very key consistencies that I want to show you guys on this chart here. Guys, 10K has no doubt provided a lot of resistance, a lot of psychology. It's where the market has stalled out longer than it has since the beginning of the uptrend in January, and a lot of people are questioning the overall trend of where this stuff is going. So guys, like in the feature film Holes, let's Shia LaBeouf and dig our way to the bottom of this analysis. Guys, this is huge, okay? So we actually had a really big wick down today. And in fact, so far today's been majority in the red, as you can see by this red candle right here, okay? Pretty engulfing red candle there, pretty much engulfed yesterday's green candle. Now, what do you notice here? Throughout all of this chaos, we have a bounce right here on this middle trend line, upward sloping trend line. But again, this bounce here, this one here, has been higher so far than this one, okay? Now, we're still on this trajectory, and we're gonna end up squeezing into a consolidating pattern. That's very likely going to be the case here. Now, I have so many things to show you on some of these other charts because some of these are really telling. So this is honestly one of the most interesting things, and this is more speculative because it could be at the very beginning of this move. And one of the downsides to this pattern is it definitely incorporates more downside. So for this pattern to play out, more downside needs to be fulfilled. And guys, there are some key things. We have been setting some higher lows on this chart, and we really have to think about what that means, okay? Because within this massive $4,000 run over the past month and a half, it's very important to note where we are currently and what this means for the market. So you see us actually touching down on this 200 moving average here on the 4 hour, okay? Bouncing right here, but we have to take a look at this and really analyze this. Could this actually be the beginning of a possible bull flag, okay? Bull flags are a pattern that you see amidst uptrends. Now, it's not always recognizable at first, but let's take a look at a bull flag, okay? This is an example of one here. Okay, you have a substantial uptrend. This one actually is about 2 months long, very similar to the one we're in now. Okay, same amount of time. And then we have this descending channel really that essentially is just a bull flag. Okay, so we trade in this symmetrical decreasing or descending channel right here, and then eventually we do have a break, get above this moving average and continue, okay? We have another example here, basically, nice uptrend, then we get a consolidation at a symmetric descending channel down like this, and then a nice break up, and you see the target is about the height of the so that's actually huge. So do we have anything similar on the chart that we have now? Well, not only that, not only do we have something potentially like this, whether you could see maybe a flag here, or sorry, a pole there, but potentially this could be part of a much even bigger pole, because this essentially, for the most part, was a very strict uptrend. Now, for this to actually be formed, I do think that this flag would actually, again, this is pretty speculative, but again, we have other patterns that play into this that make a lot of sense as well. But it would mean that this pattern could consolidate more and more, maybe even down to those perfect key levels that we've been talking about. There's two, okay? 2 key levels. Okay, guys, now this is perfect. I really want to draw your attention to this, okay? The 9,200 and the $8,800 level are absolutely key for many reasons we can get into in this video. But the 8,800 would look right about this on the chart, And the 92, which is my preferred target, is right about here. Okay, we're actually only a few $100s away from that, so it wouldn't mean much more consolidating. Okay, we could have something like this, another touchdown, or sorry, maybe like a touchdown to this over the next few days. Guys, so many possibilities with this, but for this flag, this remains extremely bullish if we get a consolidation within this channel, if this channel maintains. Okay, remember we've had some very strict sells that you see comes down. Doesn't matter if it breaks out as long as it kind of bounces back in almost immediately. These have. Okay, but for the most part, we see a lot of support. We see a lot of support here going on the bottom. We have at least like 6 touches here on this 4-hour chart over and over again. And same thing at the top. We actually have quite a bit more at the top here. Okay, so we have up here, we came down, straight back up, straight back down, here, here. Okay, now what is the next move? You would think maybe it's possible that we pull back to here. Okay, maybe go back to the 92, maybe shoot back up here. And maybe that could be, it could even be that simple of a break off or a blast off, a break through that line. It could even be that quick, but we also would not be shocked to see it even come down and maybe test that $8,800 level, guys. So that's key. We want to look at that. And I think this is really important to look at as well, guys. Within this entire pattern, this is the entire pattern consolidated on the 1-day chart. Okay, that was the 4-hour. This is the day chart. Now, this actually would still be perfectly forming this handle that we've been talking about for weeks now. This handle, again, down to the 92, which would be right here. Again, perfect looking, even down to the 88 potentially, down here to the 200 moving average. Absolute blast off. Okay, we're actually looking at these. This would be huge. And I would actually love to see this continue over the next week. If we see more of this consolidation down over the next week, I would feel pretty confident that this is really enabling itself to have a break. Again, if we saw a move actually soon above this, I personally think the market needs more juice and needs a little more time to form one of these patterns here, okay? And again, this is a huge macro pattern that we see here, and this requires some more downside here, okay, guys? So we have that potential bull flag forming here as well as part of the handle of this cup and handle. Absolutely huge. And then we have this, which I want to take a look at. On that chart, it looks as though the pattern is really descending. And I mean, for the most part it is, but you can see here on the 1-hour chart, this is really the beginning of it, and this is where we are currently. We see one thing, and that is that even though these prices are going lower and the bounces are getting lower as well, they're not getting quite as high. This area right here, we do see candles and wicks come down to, and then wick down, and then immediately go back above basically this box. Okay, we see it come down here, straight back up, come down here, back up to like this is the lowest point here. So we see that here. Okay, this was key because this is the very top of this level before we broke out to actually touch 10K. And if we actually zoom all the way back out, this was like the very top of this pattern back in October of 2019 before we really broke down into this potential bottom of this cup that could be forming into this handle. So that's absolutely huge there. And we have some more stuff we want you to look at in regards to this, okay? On this daily chart, you see this blue 50-day moving average coming up here. That could play mean support right around the 92. Could be some really mean, dirty support right there. Okay, if we come all the way down there. But even more importantly, if we would even go below that, we could still remain bullish and this flag could still be absolutely beautiful. Let's actually draw it on here. If we came down to here, which is again right around the 88, 87, $100 level, the more time that goes on, actually if it came down right about now, it would be, let's say, if it came down within the next few days, it would be right around like that 88. So, and you know, as time goes on, this channel would be going up, obviously, so the price would be going up, and it would be higher and higher for that to remain as the bottom support there. Now, that would look pretty bearish. A lot of people would be absolutely freaking out if we did that. But people that are just kind of aware of what's going on in the market might not be, right? We would be more aware of this, more aware of what's going on with the price. $8,800, 92. Again, those are all significant pullback targets. The lowest that we could go, as we've been saying, and still remain bullish is like 8.2. If we break 8K and we go below 8K, guys, then your boy is going to get bearish, okay? At that point, that's when I'll say, because you guys might say, like, what could happen that you would get bearish? That is when I get bearish. We go below 8K, then we switch our tune, because then some key market structures would be broken and we just wouldn't be able to have this mindset. But again, everything so far is looking pitch perfect, and there's some beautiful patterns that are forming amidst this downtrend. These are the most exciting times because in the middle of these downtrends, that's what we want to be looking for, the next opportunity for a breakup. It's really fun when the price is really high, but I think it's the most fun when we're trying to find out when it's going to have that break. I definitely think that's the most fun part, when we're going to have a positive breakout pattern, okay? By far, that was the most fun when we were charting this inverse head and shoulders. That was insanely fun. And when it actually happened, it was so rewarding. You guys loved it. I remember you guys being there. Absolutely fun. And again, when we're actually charting this, we want to look for the same thing. Now again, for this head and shoulders to form, we needed to come back down to form this right shoulder. We need to come down to form this head. So for this to happen, we knew it had to come down here. So a similar thing has to happen here. If this pattern is going to play out, you know, the potential cup and handle, the potential bull flag, all these things, then the price does need to come down a little bit more. But we're just watching and waiting because we know the blast off can be worth it. So guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.